Hello, pranksters. The Havercard Man coming back at you today with a market watch on the Coalition of Scrubs. Today, I am joined by a special guest. I will go ahead and let him introduce himself.
I'm sorry, I'm just giggling.
I
Hello,
know.
pranksters.
I know. I had to.
Hey guys, it is Thomas from Team Sakurasou here. Really quick, a little bit about myself. So on my channel, what I like to do is I like to do market watches. I'm a vendor, so if you guys want about market watches, the Yu-Gi-Oh secondary market, which I believe is a vital importance and something that all Yu-Gi-Oh players should know about, come to my channel. I also have a series called Five Cards Time of Your Trade Binder, where I tell you 5 cards you should invest in. I do stocks, so coming back to this game and playing Yu-Gi-Oh, it was like child's play when it comes to how to make money on this game. It's just very simple to me, so I pass that knowledge on to you. But I do all sorts of Yu-Gi-Oh content. I love doing especially like legacy Yu-Gi-Oh openings, like 5D stuff, Zexal stuff, current stuff, all that jazz, along with other videos. I do deck profiles and all that other jazz as well. But come to my channel, check it out. I'm almost at 800 subscribers. I'm like 15 or 16 off. So just check me out. Link will probably be in the description below. And
It
yeah.
will be. Yep. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move into today's Prank Kids Market Watch. So we'll go over like the base Prank Kids core, like obviously all your monsters, spells, traps, extra deck, all that stuff. And then we'll kind of move into like some cards that can work with the strategy, hand traps, extra deck choices, certain things like that. We'll just kind of go over all this stuff and maybe give some considerations on whether it's worth buying or if you should wait on it. So
Yeah.
first up on the docket here is Pranket's Place, the one that like I think this was previously like $10 before because it is the secret rare out of the set. Now it's hitting 19, upwards of 20.
Yep.
I feel like this could probably go down sometime soon. You think?
Personally, so the highest peak that Palace hit was about 25, 26 about a week ago, and that's actually when I sold my Prank Kids core because the levels of Prank Kids that we're hitting with money wise were just not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this card's probably going to calm down a lot more. I think it's at least going to go to 15, maybe downwards to 12. The reason being is because Hidden Summoners did not sell as well of a set. You go to any Walmart or Target, you'll see these on clearance, right? And I'm not going to tell you to buy product trying to get the cards you want, but like the prices these were hitting and with the low clearance, if they stayed up there, it actually would have been probably better to actually buy sealed product. That's something I actually hate saying. But yeah, 20s on these aren't bad. It's the most expensive card in the deck, really. Like everything else after this becomes on the dollar. But since we are not getting Phantom Rage for about another week, I think that you guys should probably hold off on this. Wait till they drop to around 12, 15. Grab them then.
Yep, that sounds pretty reasonable. I could definitely see them hitting down lower to that range, and I mean the hype might continue going, but I don't think the price value is really going to stay there that way. I think it could stagnate really well around that area.
There's too much Hidden Summoners product out there for it to stay there
That's
at
fair.
that price. Yeah.
That's fair enough. So I
Mhm.
guess moving on, we'll skip the Prank Kids Meow Meow for right now because obviously it's not out yet. This is all pre-sale stuff,
Oh,
and
I'll tell you something about pre-sales. When it comes to a super rare like Prank Kids Meow Meow, now correct me if I'm wrong. Is this a 2 of or a 3 of in there?
this is two of at most. You could
A
run
2 of,
three,
yeah.
but it would just be too much in the extra deck.
So since we don't have short prints and core sets, and most people are not going to be playing Prank Kids, but probably everyone's going to be pulling this card. This is a card you're not going to want to pre-sale at all. You can easily get this for 50 cents, like a couple days after Phantom Rage is announced. You could probably get your both of them for like $1 combined. So
Mm-hmm.
spending 6 on it right now is pretty just dumb. So yeah, that's all I gotta really say
Yes,
about it. Don't
that makes sense.
Yeah, pre-sales are a very weird specimen, but I'll tell you one general rule of thumb that I've noticed. Over 95% of supers, they're usually at something that way more than they ever should be. They'll spike to something that you're never gonna see this card at $6
Mm-hmm.
after this video.
That's
So yeah,
fair. That's fair. All right, so the next
the cock.
highest card on the list here, yes, the Prankins Doodle Doo sitting at right around the $5 up to $6 mark right now. Not too bad for the card, but it definitely
Mhm.
could be a lot better. Because this is usually a two of in most Prankins decks, and I don't know. I think I've seen this one at lower. I think I originally bought mine at like $2.50 to $3. So it's definitely in that hype phase right now, and I think it's probably due to go down sometime soon-ish. I don't know how far back down it will go.
Yeah.
Um,
So I got my palaces for about 6 apiece. I got my cocks for about fours. And honestly, it's definitely. I think that it's probably going to stabilize around $5. since it was at 2 for a very short time even before Mew got announced. And then it went right back up to $5. So I think it's stabilizing around $5,
Mm-hmm.
especially because since this is the most short print card out of the print kids, I believe. I believe this is more short print than Palace.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a card that's a little harder to get. $5, it's okay, but since you're waiting to buy your print kit stuff later on, and I don't really see this jumping up to anywhere above $6, I'd probably wait. You could probably get them for a solid $5, maybe a little less. Another thing I heavily advise is going to your locals and seeing who has a core around, because if you do have cash and you see these and they're like $6 and you offer a guy $4, most likely he's just gonna take it as well. Five, you could offer him, $3 or $4 or whatever. You get the point. Because a lot of players have this, and so you could get it for cheaper. You could help out one of the players at your locals. It's just a little bit of advice I like to throw out.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, it does seem fair that this could stabilize around this price. It is a very necessary card for the strategy, but like, it's only like a one or two of depending on the build. So I think that's probably a fairly reasonable price. But once again, yeah, it is probably better to hold off in this case, waiting for the release of further stuff coming out here. So moving on down, the Prankids Battle Butler, 2.5 to $3 range. It's not terrible. I mean, most people only run this guy as a one of because you recycle. I like to run two personally, but really, this price isn't
Yeah,
too bad.
yeah. Actually, I think I actually laughed at this price because, like I mentioned before, I'm a vendor and I had this deck and I put it all in my store because this was way too inflated. This card for almost its entirety, right? It was about $1 and then it went down to like a quarter and 30 cents, right?
Oh wow.
And I looked at a card, I'm like, this is never gonna be worth money. And these jumped up to a whole $5, and that's when I got rid of all my stuff. I'm like, all right, Yu-Gi-Oh
Hmm.
players going crazy on the secondary market. Episode 472. It still amazes me
Yeah.
to this day. This is horrible. You should not be paying $3 for this one. This will easily go down to $1 again.
Okay.
I definitely would not pick it up at this price.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. Look, I mean, your cheapest ones right now are the lightly playeds, anyways. Everyone wants that near mint, so might as well wait for it to go down.
Yeah, I mean, I could get into a whole argument about T player light play, and I put light play in quotations
Yeah,
because light play is just a gamble.
that
But
is fair.
ugh, like, bro, I've had cards that are easily like have almost damaged be lightly, and
Ugh, yeah.
it's not a fun time. It's like lightly survive the washing machine, dude.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Ouch. All right, so moving down to just like the main deck prank kid stuff. This is definitely inflated from where it should be. Like last I checked, these were pennies, and now we're seeing
Uh,
over dollar prices.
you want to hear the worst part about this? You know what I sold a playset for at their hype?
What would you sell it for?
$5.50. These were twos.
Wow.
I was like, "There's no way." I didn't. Listen, I put it for less, and it moved today. The only thing that hasn't moved, I think, is like, I think my dropsies. I don't know. I don't know why, but
Hmm.
yeah. I also have a store, by the way. If you guys go to my channel, my videos, it's linked there. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean, most of the prank kid stuff here, obviously, once again, for most of your main deck stuff, this is pretty well inflated right now. I feel like this one, once the hype kind of dies down a little bit, people might be selling off more of their prank kids cards because they're realizing they don't like it that much. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
these could definitely go back down, 100%.
Mhm, mhm.
And thankfully, like, okay, so your main deck monsters you need is three ofs, but stuff like your pranks are like one or two ofs. So if you buy it at this price, it's not gonna hurt too much. Yeah, we wouldn't, once again, would not recommend it. Just wait.
Just don't.
Just wait.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better to just be patient in this case because you really need to wait for Meow Meow to get released anyways to play the deck at its full potential. So might as well just
Uh-huh.
wait for that at this point. Bow Up Arc at $1.08. I mean, I don't know on that one.
Eh,
I haven't seen how low this one get, but
yeah. They were they actually didn't really go crazy. I don't know why
yeah,
Bow Wow went crazy, but dollar, I mean, it's all right. I mean, I think
yeah.
they were like 50, 60 cents before. We're arguing over 30, 40 cents. It's
Hmm.
fine. You
Yeah.
also, I don't know if I think you missed Prank Kids, the recycling.
Oh yeah,
Did you?
pranks. I kind of briefly talked about it. This one
Yeah.
is, like I said, this is the only like one of your one or two ofs here, so it's not like too
Yeah.
crazy. But wait for it to go down. This is that's gonna be a little bit over the top there for that.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, the deck can really play without pranks just fine. It's just like a nice extender, but you can play without it just fine. Unless you're trying to do the Calamities build, then you need it. But like,
Yeah.
don't play Calamities prank kids. It's bad. I've been testing it all day. It's bad. So
That actually sounds like some cancer. Wait, Calamity, like true king of all calamity prankins?
it was a
Am
prank
I
kids
hearing this
Calamities
right?
tour, but yes, it was it required 9 extra deck slots for the Calamities play. So there's only 6 cards that you can actually play prank kids with. And basically all it is you just turbo into the needle fiber combo by using Union Carrier to equip Union Driver and then equip Torque Tune Gear, which can special summon itself and is a tuner monster. And then you can just, if you have another prank kids monster on field, you can link off into needle fiber plays. It's disgusting.
Oh my god, that actually does sound
And then at the end
disgusting.
of it, you Thunder Dragon Fusion to recycle your resources back to your deck, summon a Battle Butler, so you have a Raigeki with a Calamities, and then you could also banish your Thunder Dragon Fusion next turn to search a Fancies from deck.
No, that's cool.
It's
That's actually.
disgusting. All right, so moving on
uh,
here, more of the main deck stuff. So the Lampsies and Dropsies are not as high priced as the Fancies. Obviously, they're still not like great, hitting 80 cents and 60 to 75. Not
yeah.
not the greatest. Once again, these will go back down to pennies, like 100%. I don't think these will stay here
Mhm.
forever. I mean, they're
Yeah.
pretty cheap as is, but might as well
I
just
think
wait.
within the week or two, by the way, a lot of this stuff is gonna drop. Give it
Yeah,
about 2 weeks.
it probably, yeah. So yeah, these stuff, yeah, just wait. Actually, I'm surprised by the Rip Roaring Roaster only being at the 73-cent range. I thought it would be a little bit pricier than that, but I mean, this is only like a one of, but once again, probably just wait. Like, it's not.
Mm,
You could probably get that down to like 50 cents or something like that. Like, I feel like you can get down to a quarter even.
Probably.
It's a
Yeah.
pretty cheap one.
Like this deck, I'm pretty sure this deck's gonna be gotten sooner rather than later, and then you're gonna have those diehards that had their core ever since release.
Yep. And honestly, like when I opened up my Hidden Summoners box, I pulled so many of the Rip Roaring Roasters. Like I feel like I pulled more of them than I did main deck monsters. It was just crazy. So
Mhm.
there's plenty of them floating around. Moving on here. So the Roxy's coming out in Soul Fusion here is sitting at a solid 22 cents.
I
Um,
think this is like something good to go in on right now if you do want
honestly,
them.
yeah.
Uh, and okay, so I did get this right. Me and Harv were talking a little bit before the video, and I was like, yeah, these Roxy's came out of Soul Fusion, right? The
Mm-hmm.
special edition, and I'm very shocked that these haven't gone up because there is a common print that's like 10 cents, but
Yeah.
it just feels weird playing with without one common,
Yeah, I mean,
print
when
kit.
the rest of your
It
deck is all foils, why play
is
the one common? It's just weird.
yeah. So I'm very shocked at this price, especially because this is the hard one to get. Like you get say 2 or 3 packs of Hidden Summoner, $2 each. You're gonna pull like one dropsies, maybe like 2 of the win, like something random like that. None of the main deck print kits monsters are short print to my knowledge. But this you have to buy a whole $10 special edition. You might get one of these, it's like a 50% chance. I thought these would easily hit at least $2 each. So I'm very shocked at this, but as a vendor, I know that Yu-Gi-Oh players don't like to use their brains on the secondary market, so it's not like I'm surprised at all. But yeah, this is the one you actually do buy right now. If you actually do want prank kids, this is something you should get for 20 cents.
Yeah, Roxy's definitely a very solid pick. So, scooting on down here, the Prank Kids Pandemonium, the fusion spell. I mean, this is like a one or two of because you can just search off of Dodo.
Hmm.
50 cents. I feel like I pulled quite a bit of these too. Like the ratios on, there should be plenty of them floating around. This is once again going to be more inflated pricing, I'm sure, but it won't go down too much. Like we're talking like like just pennies. I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I'm looking at 50 cents. I mean, they were at like a dollar 50 earlier. Just weren't
Mm-hmm.
buying it at that price.
Yeah. So I think right now these would probably be okay enough to pick up. Like once again, you might see it go down a few more cents, but it's probably not going to go too much lower. I don't think not enough to really like be too worried about it. I guess so. If you're waiting to pick up the rest of the deck anyways, you might as well just wait and see what this one does too. If you're really worried about those few pennies, so doesn't hurt. So the Rocket Ride actually only sitting at a quarter. That one does really surprise me because this is like one of those 2-0s for the deck, and I guess this one was a pretty common card to find out of the set, but at the same time, I figure this one would be getting scooped up pretty okay. But I guess
Yeah,
not.
I know this is gonna sound really, but I just have to be honest here. Once I saw a prank kids card that was not Palace or the Cock being any type of money, any money at all whatsoever, my brain cells just off themselves. I just gave up. I was like, none of this is gonna last. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially the Raigeki being at $5 at its max. I wanted to cry. I'm like, who's responsible for this? I didn't even feel good about taking people's money when they bought it.
Yeah. So I mean, the Rocket Ride, that one's. I think that's okay to pick up 25 cents. I don't think you're gonna see
Yeah.
too much of a difference on that one.
I think everything else,
It's
plans still a
it's
one of, correct?
all plan is a two of usually for me anyways. I like having it to be able to set and one to send to graveyard, but yeah, you can play as really any ratio you want. So I mean, that's cheap enough though. That should be fine. I think 21
Yeah,
cents is
everything
not
else
for you.
is less than a ball at this point.
Yeah,
So
no, the common printing of Roxy's down to 5 cents here. So I mean, if you're really looking for penny budget, I guess if you really really want it, but
no, just get the super rares.
I
That's
wouldn't
not even
recommend it.
debatable.
I wouldn't recommend it at all.
Plus, hey, if you ever want to move this core in I'm telling you this, people might have an issue that this isn't super.
That is true. That is very
Maybe
true.
that's just because maybe it's because I'm just picky with ratios, guys.
That's fair. All right, so with the Prankins core covered, we'll go ahead and talk about some extra side tech options like other hand traps, just random text you can throw at the deck, whatever. So the first one here is actually one of the more common ones, the Totally Awesome. I'm just looking at the 2017 Megatins pack here, but there was the other printing as well. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
we'll look at all versions, but we'll start
Okay.
with the cheap one.
So yeah, currently sitting at $12.18 right now. $4 shipping on that one's pretty hefty though. So and that's a
Yeah.
damaged even. So that's probably a
Yeah,
bad
so just
example
scroll
of
a
that
little
one.
bit down. Let me see the
Yeah.
actual,
So looking here,
half that chewed off.
so here's
Ooh,
for an
Italian.
Italian copy for
Can we look at that?
$17.99. All right,
Can we click that? Listen, so guys, I'm Italian myself, by the way. You'll even see in my videos when I'm talking about the market and I'm telling people how stupid they are. I will be talking with my hands as well. Um, and yeah, I actually really like Italian cards. This actually looks pretty good. It's not like super amazing because some cards just look amazing Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad, but if you don't really care, they're sitting at what, almost $12 there.
That was for the damaged copy. Let me see if I can. I'm just gonna back out of this here.
The damage was 12.
Yeah.
Near 20, right?
So yeah, the lightly played. There's one at 19.99. Then we have a near mint down here at 19.50. So it seems kind of like that 19 to about $21 range somewhere in there for your
Yeah.
near mints. Which isn't terrible. I mean, for Toad, it is a bit expensive, obviously. And
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I don't really recommend running Totally Awesome and Prank Kids because it's such a dedicated play that nets you so little. I think you could honestly probably pass up on this card for now. Like, if you already have a copy, go ahead and play it. But I think this is really not something you need to worry about spending your money on.
Yeah, I would say play test it and see what it is because I may be wrong here, but I thought that Totally Awesome was incorporated with the whole combo. So I didn't know you had to go out of your way.
If you're going
know
for
you
like a
had to go
dedicated
before.
combo, like you have to do like the 3-card combo to get the Totally Awesome and do your normal Prank Kid stuff. Otherwise, you're
Oh.
doing like Totally Awesome, like maybe a couple other things. It just you have to dedicate so much to it because you have to dedicate 2 out of your 3 dropsies to it, which is 2 of your special summons from deck, and you're sacrificing a whole lot of other plays you could be doing for that for 1 negate that you can get out of just linking off into a Meow Meow and having a Parallel Exceed. Like it's just
Okay.
it's not as consistent with the Parallel Exceed, but I think it's more valuable because well, obviously it's cheaper for 1, and for 2, it's just like you don't have to dedicate so much of your normal Prank Kids play to it. It's just like a bonus extension. So I don't think Toad's really worth it, to be honest.
Okay, that's cool.
So
Let's look at the original though.
yeah, so the original here, let me see if I can find it. So we got the the Invasion
Yeah,
Vengeance here.
Invasion of Chaos. It's the
So we are
yes,
looking at
I
near
know.
mint $24, a crisp $24 there. Wow.
Let me look at the listing.
Yeah, let's go see what we got down here.
Make
So
sure it's not alpha. So near mint's 24. Okay.
Yep.
First ed's 26. Personally, if I were to buy a Toad, I would definitely go for the first ed originals here since there's only a couple dollar difference. And
mhm,
if you guys have been following Toad's history, the first eds and the reprints have always been almost neck and neck. I
mhm,
mean, after a little while of 2017 when it first got reprinted, mind you, right? They were very neck and neck from the card being anywhere from $15 to $20 with there maybe being a dollar difference. But now we're finally seeing a larger difference between the reprint Toad and the original Toad. So I think for the few dollars, it's way better to get this original Toad since if Totally Awesome gets another reprint in the future, which it most likely will since it's been 3 years since it's gotten a reprint,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a money card, so it's probably eventually, if not already, on Konami's radar. I would get the original so that since if you buy the reprint, gets reprinted, you're looking at maybe anywhere from like 5 to 10. Can't really say,
Yeah.
but the original will most likely keep a lot more of its value, meaning
Mm-hmm.
that you could resell it, get the reprint, and then you have some more money that you can go food bills or whatever.
Yeah.
You just have to be for a few dollars here. Not getting the original, you're actually losing money if you decide to buy this card as the reprint, in my honest opinion, than the original. It's
Okay.
just a little Yu-Gi-Oh! Marketing 101, by the way, guys. I'm sorry to sprinkle it in there.
Yeah.
Secondary market 101, my fault. But
So, just in talking theory, because I'm terrible at predicting sets, how likely do you think it could be that Toad might get a reprint in the Gold Series?
So gold is interesting because there's a lot of leaks that have been going around, and I've told people that these look like some bullshit links. Like I've straight up told them about it. I think that most likely we're probably not going to see it.
Okay.
Like if it's been thrown in there, it's a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I think that we're going to, because this year's been very weird for Konami Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll give you an example that flew over a lot of people's heads as a vendor. I noticed it right away. The Megatins 2020, really, really good. And I'm not arguing if they're good or bad or not. But every Megatin, when it came to reprints, yeah, they'd reprint, mostly from the core set, but they always reprinted from other sets,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or like others like types of series, right? Like anything that needs a reprint is still kind of on the table. The Tins 2020, they only stuck to the core sets that came out, which was super mind-boggling because
Mm.
I've never seen that before. So this getting a reprint, will it get a reprint this year? Probably not. But in 20, I don't. It's somewhere in 2021. But again, it all just depends on if it's on the. I remember talking about Madoka. It's like, yo, they're gonna get reprints here, they're reprints there, and Konami has been very weird with them.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different video for
Fair
another
enough.
topic.
Um.
Bro, fun fact: chocolate almond. That was the extra. I remember when those were dollars for months, and I kid you not, I made like. I remember selling them for like way cheaper, right? Because I got them for dollars. I just want to off with them. I got like $300 something
Wow.
off that, and it was definitely the most ridiculous net I've ever had as a vendor.
That's dope.
Stupid, but yeah.
All right.
Sorry for talking so much, guys.
No,
My
you're
fault.
good. You're good. So moving on from the Toad here, a lot of people really like to run the access code talker in the extra deck. Sit at a $75 price range. Honestly, skip this one. There's way better extra deck cards you could be picking. Like if you're playing access code in your other decks and you just want to swap it around, I guess that's fine. But honestly, access code for prank kids, it hurts the deck more than it helps it, because if you're banishing stuff like your different attribute link monsters from your graveyard, you're just getting rid of materials you could use later on to get a couple
Yeah.
of pops where you can get those pops with your prank kids monsters. So honestly, skip the access code. It's really not going to help you whatsoever.
Yeah. Personally, what I would do, because what people don't actually realize is that access code, something that's very similar to ending games, although in a way, is Boral Sword. Boral Sword is a way cheaper. Can we actually pull up Boral Sword? Would you mind?
Yeah, sure. I'll pull up Borsal real quick.
Yeah. $75. If you don't have it, you don't have it.
Yeah.
Right. Boral Sword is going to help you end games in a way, and there's not really too many times where you're like, oh, I wish I had Access Code Talker instead.
Yeah.
There's also going to be those times where Boral Sword is actually better to make than Access Code Talker. These cards are very. Looking at the dynamic between Boral Sword and Access Code is very fun, actually. But since it's way cheaper to get just a Cybernetic Horizon, if you want just cheap copies, you got them there for about $15, $16 for the 2019.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's a whole lot cheaper. But let's look at a Cybernetic Horizon Secret.
Okay, so yeah, the
I
secret
don't really
is...
care about the Battles of Legend ones
Yeah,
sitting at
that's
20.
fine. So we're sitting here about the $24, $25 range, up to 26 with these guys.
Yeah, so near mid's 24, first sets are 20 first sets. Honestly, this is what I'd get more because this saves you $50 whole, and you're not gonna really notice a difference at all, except for the $50 sitting in your wallet,
Yeah, no, Portal Sword
thanking you
will
that you can
one
spend them on a children's card game.
this will 100% perform a lot better than an access code in your extra deck. Or we do have a card coming up here that's even cheaper than a Portal Sword that I think actually performs even better than both of these cards
Really?
in
Let's
prank
see
kids.
it.
So next up we have the Rival Cyberset Mister sitting at 10 cents. This card was honestly, in my opinion, slept on. I understand because of the different attributes clause. But in prank kids, you can make this guy a 4K or a 4K body that is unaffected by card effects. And not only that, once per turn, you can be able to just pop another monster on the field and special summon a token. Like, this card has so much utility for prank kids, and not only that, like if you can pull out this guy, you can go into a Verte Anaconda afterwards. You have a Thunder Dragon Fusion in your hand. You can get this guy and have a Battle Butler on your field for a double Rakeki if you have Meow Meow in Graveyard. It's super insane and super consistent to be able to get into him.
Actually, I'm very happy you brought this card up because this is a card that I actually really love, especially a lot of the bigger links that are like not Link 4 but Link 5 and above, except for
Yeah.
the new one we're getting. I forgot what she was called, but she's a waifu, so I want it. But she's like a Link 5 or
Yeah.
something. But this is actually definitely a really good card. I think it's really good. You just have to be very careful with it because if they stop you somehow here, because remember, is it unaffected by card effects or cannot be targeted by
It's
card
unaffected, completely unaffected by other cards' effects.
Oh, then that's good. You just have to realize on what you're playing. Like for example, if you're playing against Geist, I would highly suggest you don't make this. It just gets judgmented and you just go
Yeah.
neck through. It definitely is a card that I would consider. I mean, it's 25 cents. Why not have? Yeah, I fully agree.
So, like, the nice thing is if you know that, since it's only a one of in your extra deck, if you know that you're playing against, like, a heavy back row control deck, you can just stick with your normal Prankins combo. Like, you don't have to dedicate to the Rival Cyberset Mister. But if you feel you can extend far enough and make that play, there's a lot of times where it can actually be really viable, and it's really good against those combo decks. Even if you're just setting up a turn one board, of course you don't want your opponent to be playing kaijus. If they have kaijus, you're screwed. But that's why you can
Yeah.
also have the Battle Butler to back it up, so you still have that form of disruption, other than just having a big boss monster on field that your opponent has to get over.
Yeah. I mean, I probably play this Amber Sword personally. That's
I
probably
could
what
see
would.
that. I could
definitely don't
justify that.
think
I could definitely understand having that utility and having the versatility of that extra deck.
more
So
options, and
yeah.
that's another thing I do like about Prankins. They have options.
Yep. As long as you don't go to Pandemonium, like you can, like pretty much the boundaries of this deck are limitless. Like I played Salomon Great, Adamantipator, Marincess. Of course, some of those haven't worked very good, but you can throw like all these different things with Prankins. Like you can literally, it's just like a canvas. You can just paint whatever you want on it, and it's absolutely incredibly fun.
Yeah.
So, I guess moving on here, you wanted to talk about this Ash here, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring from Maximum Crisis. You brought this one up to me. I'm very
Yeah.
curious to see what you got to say about it.
So we wanted to talk about hand traps here, and I wanted to bring up Ash because probably it's definitely one of the best hand traps in the game that we've seen for a very long time, besides Nibiru. Right, this is either a 1 or 2 pick for at least me. Sitting here about how much are for unlimited? Because unlimited.
Let me look at the unlimited. So here we go. We're sitting about 38 on the unlims for near mints.
First sets, by the way, were $38. Actually, $33 for first set near mints, by the way.
Oh man.
A couple months ago, I just want to remind people that. Let's go on the second page here.
Okay.
Third page.
Yep.
All right. First set near mints, about $60. If you do have a lot of money, and yeah, I mean you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh. The fact that you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh in any capacity means you are playing this card. If you are looking for something that's going to hold a lot of value and gain a lot of value, definitely look at these first edition Ash Blossoms since you do play it in Prank Kids as well. Now, there's cheaper versions you want to get, but if you want to have a card that you play and then when you want to get rid of it, or you're just tired of it, or you want to get a cheaper version or whatever, it's going to be worth paid for it. This is the copy I would go for. I highly suggested people to get these at 30s, and then they just jumped up to 60. 66. They've calmed down a little bit. If you guys are familiar with Ghost Ogre, that is a card that for secret rares actually doubled in price recently. So you have to remember these old OG first printings of these hand traps are just you're literally sitting on, right? And who doesn't like sitting on money? So this is something that I would look at, but there's cheaper versions if you want them. We can view all versions of Ash if you.
Yeah.
Okay
Let me go ahead and peek here. I'll just I'm just gonna
Yeah.
copy and paste because I'm lazy
Oh,
here.
you can just click view all versions, by the way.
Oh
It's right
god,
below
yeah,
the
okay.
prices.
Wait, hold on. I'm
Yeah.
blind.
Put
Oh,
your
there it
mouse a
is.
little
Okay,
higher.
yeah,
No,
I
yeah, right
found it.
there.
We're good.
No,
Okay.
you're all good. But just real quick thing. I don't know why TCG players do this, but if there's an ultimate rare version of the card, sometimes that doesn't cover it.
Okay.
Uh, or Ghost, I believe, maybe. But I know for ultis for sure. But you also have ultras from Legendary Collection Kaiba for $15. I think this is a great version to get. I would get them definitely over the dual powers since this is actually it's just a lot harder to get, especially since Legendary Collection Kaiba is a set that keeps going up. Any Legendary Collection honestly just keeps rising up for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not no reason. I would either get that or I would get the the feet version from the dual overload box, I believe it's called.
Dual Devastator? Yeah, right here.
Devastator, dual Devastator, thank
Yeah.
you. Because these were sixes, right? On release. Harv, you remember that, right? These were $6 on a release date, right?
Briefly, I came into the game a little bit after Dual Devastator got released. Or I came back.
Oh,
I
okay.
came back anyways.
No, yeah, no problem. But yeah, these are about 6, 7 on release, and they keep going up. The thing about Ash Blossom is every player needs a new set of these, like every couple days, or like feels like every month or two, right? Depending on how much decks you're building, because a lot of players actually don't like swapping. I
Mm-hmm.
swap with really expensive cards, but if it's cheap, I have like a I think like a $7, $8 rule with it. But since it's Ash, and you're not good, imagine playing like multiple decks, like 5, 6, 7 decks, and having to swap Ash through all. That just sounds like hell.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, these keep going up. I suggest that getting the alternate arts is actually a very good investment since they are completely different than any other version. Since it shows a different Ash Blossom. Definitely good to get if you ever find these dual Devastator boxes on clearance. Which some of them are. I actually have a friend who got his for $25.
Oh wow.
I think it was like last week, but this card makes half your money back right there.
Yeah.
So just something to consider if you need ashes, and if you have the money to spend. I'll always tell you secrets, but if not, I think the Legendary Collection Kaiba or the feet, especially the feet version, is the way.
Okay.
Just don't buy commons.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I don't know why
crazy to
people
see the
try to.
Soul Burner structure deck up to $12. Like I know it's Ash, but that's for a common
Exactly.
out of a
Here's what I
structure
don't.
deck.
Why would you buy? Why would you buy the common instead of all these other holographic versions? It's like,
Yeah.
why is this neck and neck with the alternate art version that's an ultra rare?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess people that had extra Soul Burner structure decks are making some bank right now. So
I picked up a bunch of sets for like
I was saying,
fives.
like this
I
one
mean,
card covers the cost of that structure. Well, I guess the original cost if you're looking, because they're probably higher than $10 now. I'm sure.
fun fact by the way, there was a little controversy when the structure came out because card shops were being really scummy and trying to sell these for instead of the original 10 because they
Oh,
knew how good it is. Yeah, I actually saw a guy like arguing about it at my local, and I kind of like was like, yeah, honestly, that's just too scummy.
yeah.
Yeah, so
All right, so there's Ash. For other kind of hand trappy options, we are gonna bring up evenly matched here. So I just got the dual power version up here for $18. For that one, let's scroll down here. Look at what we got. So 18 on up to 20 here.
mhm.
Even for first eds, that's. I mean, for what evenly match has been, it's gotten worse before than that, has it? It's been like up to like 30 or something like that. Is what I've
Yeah,
seen it get to.
ultras were actually 30. That was craziness. But honestly, 18 to 20, I remember putting I remember when these were solidly 18, right? So
Mm-hmm.
36 for both. I put two of them up for about $32, right?
Uh huh.
Gave someone a deal. Sold within 5 minutes.
Wow.
This is a car that people they do really like and do really want. I think it's very good to have your set of EVs at this price. Can we look at all versions? Would you mind?
Sure. Yeah. No problem. Few
Thank you,
versions. There
because
we go.
I actually like secret rares, and I actually am looking for.
That is fair. So the
I actually
circuit
have my
break
ultra
secrets
rares
here.
because that's all I found people with,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't feel like ordering this card online and spending the money.
Ah.
Let's look at the Okay, so Megatin's 21, but let's look at originals.
You want to look at the circuit breaks up here?
Circuit Breaker,
All
yeah.
right, you got it. All right,
Man, I
scroll
remember
down
these
here.
were 40s for original, even with the reprint, and now they're sitting here at about $30, $29, $30. I think this is a card that can easily actually hit 50, since evenly matched is going to be a card that it's going to depend on what format. I know it sounds like a super strong card now, or maybe I'm just saying that because I actually really like this card. because just going straight to battle phase. Because one of the locals I go to, mostly out of all the other ones, it's like a super fun local. So every time I go in battle phase, there's like an expression or like something whenever I enter battle phase. It's just so amusing. So I really like this card. I know I sound like evil, but
Yeah.
first eds for $30. And by the way, it's not that near mids for 23 are bad, but for a couple more dollars, getting first eds are just a lot more beneficial, and a lot of players are really do care about that first edition tag.
Yeah.
I think first editions at $30 is definitely really good. This is a card that if you invest in it for kids, you're gonna have this card for all your other decks. You're gonna have the highest rate. And like I said, this may also receive I think it could receive a reprint in the new Gold series. It's
Mm-hmm.
possible, right? I
Yeah.
know some of the spoiler lists had those, but I think they're all bullshit. It's just this card hasn't got a reprint since Dual Overload, or no, Dual Power, my
Yeah.
fault. Right? Been on a year and a half, and they know how hot this card is. They're gonna throw it into I really actually do think they're probably going to either this or the next
I
reprint
mean,
set. So
given they took it out of the structure deck, I feel like they're gonna put it in some kind of set like that. I feel like Gold Series would probably be like the perfect place to put it in.
actually, fun fact about that. I had a little bet going on with a buddy of mine that evenly match wasn't going to be in there, and it was a $10 bet, and I won the $10. I'm like, dude, they're not going to throw
There's
Dark Lord
no
away.
way. Yeah,
It's the
there was
TCG
no
we're
way.
talking about. Hello, we both do market watches. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's about bullshit. But like I said, this is a card. If when I pick it up now, I think because of what's going to be worth in the future, it's fine. But if you want to wait a while to pick this up, that's fine as well. Because like I said, this gets a reprint in the new Gold series. All versions, including the original, are going to drop. You might see these at 20 for first editions, right? Saving you about $18 overall, and that's some significant amount of money. So I would keep an eye out on this card. Check on it. If you think if it starts slowly going, grab them. If it's going a little bit down, stabilizing, just keep having an eye on it. That's personally what I would.
Yeah. And it's not like you don't necessarily need this card for prank kids, but if you are planning to play it, this probably would be an okay time for it.
Yeah,
All
better than
right.
lightning storms.
Yeah. All right. So another extra choice for prank kids here is the Trap Trickster Felicia, purely thanks to Parallel Exceed, which I don't think we're really gonna need to bother looking at because that card is just like pennies. It's a common of Eternity Code. Like if you buy any sealed Eternity Code, you probably have a full playset already.
I've noticed that you get 3 parallel XCs per 12 packs, about
Yeah.
at least for sealed booster boxes. Like you do one side, you got 3.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I've heard.
It's super easy to get 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. Like you can get away with 2, but you really want the consistency of 3. But I don't think it's really worth talking about that. So the Trap Trickster Felicia
We
here.
can look at the super versions actually. That might.
Oh
Be
yeah, we can look at the OTS ones. Yeah, okay. So the Trap Trickster Felicia here. I'm gonna scroll down. So near mint first ed sitting at 582 out of the this was the 2016 Megatons.
2016.
Yeah.
So
So
I remember when Trap Tricks, when Eternity Code first came out, and the Nib combo was discovered, but Trap Trick support was also like announced a lot.
yeah,
These double spiked to like $20. So seeing them at $6.
you think
But
this
for
is
$6,
yeah.
I think this is a card that, honestly, if you're trying to save money, just get the cheap version. But let's look at all versions.
Yep. Yeah, I'll go peek at the other ones. All right. So all right. So we got the OTS tournament pack 13 here. Those are getting up to like $30, 25, 30.
Yeah,
So
I think that's you don't, not only do you not need it, but I feel like it's a card that's easily.
I mean that is the ultimate rare, but yeah, at the same time, probably not
I
really
believe it
worth.
or not, I actually pulled my copy out of one pack. It was pretty
Oh
funny.
wow,
The best
nice,
part is I threw it in a random pack opening video.
nice.
It,
All
was,
right.
it was pretty funny.
Yeah. So we do have the Breakers of Shadow here. The
Fun
secret rare.
fact, by the way, the European Rafflesias look. The artwork looks a lot better because the card is darkened to a point where it actually brings out the colors.
Oh wow.
It's very interesting if you actually can spot a European.
Mhm.
You'll notice it's a little different. It's just something fun to consider. I actually have an NA and a European print, and it's quite fun. Personally, I'd rather just get these copies instead of the other one.
Yeah, the
we're looking
secrets.
we're looking about a $1 difference, and this is an
Yeah.
original print. Could these go up in the future? Probably way more. So I definitely would get for $1 more. Get one. I think you only need one copy, so it's good to have.
Yeah, you really only need
Definitely.
one. I mean, like it's a parallel exceed target. You're really only gonna get it once. You just need it for the Gravekeeper's trap hole.
And like I said, if you find a player out at your locals, you offer him $5.
Oh, you kind of cut
Uh,
out there.
oh, my fault.
No, you're
But
good.
if you find someone with this card, if you offer them a dollar or two less, they'll probably.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess along with this, because Gravedigger's Trap Hole was, it was a secret rare out of Eternity Code, or Eternity
Yep.
Code, so it might be worth looking at here, because this is
Yeah.
another one-of copy. So, $10 up here. I mean, you're looking about the $9 to $12 range, more like 10 to 12, I guess. But,
Mhm.
I mean, for a one-of copy, I don't know. For a secret rare, this card maybe could go down, but I think this is probably about where it's going to be stagnant at. You think?
So honestly, I personally think it's going to go up. The reason being is because when looking at a card, if it's going to go up and down or not, you have to realize, okay, what in the future is going to make this go up?
Mm-hmm.
Why? How many reasons are there, right? And that's what's going to depend. And we're going to actually analyze this card. So Gravedigger's Trap Hole, which let's just read it for them just in case they might not know.
Yeah, just in case.
If that's so, yeah, because I feel like some players actually might not know what this does.
Yeah,
When your
so
opponent activates
yeah.
a monster effect in their hand or graveyard, or when your opponent banishes a monster effect is banished monster effect is activated, negate its effect, and if you do, you inflict 2,000 damage. That's quite significant actually. That's at least something, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen people win in time because of this. So what this does, and the reason why we looked at Rafflesia is, I don't know actually if we mentioned this, is it
No, we
stops
did.
Nibiru.
Yeah, so the thing about Rafflesia is you can just attach material as a quick effect to activate a trap hole card from your deck that meets its activated conditions or activation conditions. So with the Gravedigger's Trap Hole, you can use the Rafflesia to activate its effect in response to a Nibiru, since that activates in the hand.
Yes. It goes for any other hand trap as well, by the
Mm-hmm.
way. As well. It goes for certain grave effects as well, which is really, really nice. It's not like a ghost spell, by the way. If your opponent monster reborns, it's gonna go through. I'm just
Yeah.
making sure people know it's not a ghost spell.
And it
I'm
specifically
the first person
has to
to say that.
be a monster effect too. So if they try to imperm, you can't do that.
Yeah. Thunder Dragon effects will also proc. Certain Infernity cards, which is getting new support, I believe Phantom Rage or step after, I forgot which one right now.
Yeah.
Though it's gonna do something with those. This is a card that it's definitely gonna stand the test of time with Yu-Gi-Oh. Trap Tricks play 3 of this. If anyone wants to do the Rafflesia combo, this is gonna be either a one of, or some players are always gonna play 2. It's
Yeah.
kind of like how when people playing Brilliant Fusion, they play 2 Garnets because they always drew their Garnet.
You got to make sure you have one in the deck. Yeah, I get that problem a lot. So I understand running Gravedigger's Chapel at 2. If you're feeling risky enough, or if you're running like a 45 to 46 card deck to like have the ratios to still draw your play starters, but kind of help sort out the garnets a little bit more, then you can maybe run it at 1. It's really up to personal preference, I think, at that point, and also budget,
Yeah,
of course. You can
I
definitely
would
get away with 1.
definitely want. Definitely. Oh, I think 1 is the optimal, but it's not like I'm gonna, breathe down your neck if you're running
Yeah.
2 copies. Plus, this is a card that could be essential to stopping certain combos in the
Yep.
future, right? I think this is definitely a card that for $10 is definitely. I mean,
Well,
better than the
yeah.
14 they were. This is a card that it constantly goes up and down because people they have interest in this card, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Well, the nice thing about this too is that if you end up drawing into it, you can still set it, and like it's still usable. You
yeah.
can use it regardless of the
It,
Rafflesia.
also, it's not a once per turn. All
It
right,
is not.
so
Yeah.
just so you guys, because I've actually resolved 2 of these in the same turn and actually had games. So my opponent had 3,800 life points, and believe it or not, he was actually going. Just because the interrupt didn't matter, but I ended up flipping this for because it's 2,000, right? So
Yeah.
you activate 2 of these, that's half your opponent's life points. The life points don't matter in this game, to be honest with you, but if you chunk them down, they do.
It's just a nice little punishment to throw on top of them trying to hit you or something. I mean,
It's the
it's
sole
cool.
successor of Gaga Cowboy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Only a few people.
Trap hole for game. I'd love to be able to do that.
Yeah, I know it's a good feel.
All right,
Like,
so I guess moving on from the trap tricks, because I mean, you can play this once again. It's just like it's optional. If you don't feel like you can afford the Rafflesia with the trap hole, just go with the Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller's, for the most part, almost always good in the meta. Like Abyss Dweller's always got some kind of place in the meta, and it's cheap relatively. I can't remember what its price is right now, but I can actually probably go look that up really
10
quick.
cents. 10 cents.
Is it okay? Yeah, I kind of figured it was pretty cheap. So really, that's not even like you don't need. Yeah, Abyss Dweller is fine. So. Moving on, so for more hand traps, we do have Nibiru in our list here. It's kind of weird that I'm seeing one at $8 a copy. It's also not giving me the list down here, which is really weird.
Just try to refresh it.
I'm just going to go to view all versions and see what I can find here. So,
Yeah,
wow, the OTS
six.
at 120. Oh boy.
You know what's really funny is people said they would call them that at 100, and I actually no, it's gonna go to 110 and then slowly up.
Yeah.
What's about it's gonna listen, it's the best hand trap, or at least second best hand trap. I think it's the best hand trap of the format, and you need three of them
Yeah.
because you're not gonna just play one ulti.
I mean, if it doesn't
It's
get
gonna be one
negated, it
more.
has the potential to just end the
Yeah,
game on its
plus
own. So like,
yeah, plus you know, we live in a time where OTS is a lot harder to get,
mhm.
right? Because there's no tournaments. Now I know what you could get 2 packs by buying product and all that, but $5 for like one OTS, like you enter, you have fun, your tournament, you get one OTS like thrown at you. Or if you're actually a good player, I can't relate. Heartman, maybe you can. But yeah, if you're an actual good player, unlike Thomas from Team Sakurasou here, you get multiple packs and it's a good time. But now the only way to really get is to buy a sealed product, which it's a smart move on Konami's part, and to get this card. Like when OTS 13 dropped, you have to remember that the ultimate rares in that set, like people, okay, we wanted one Abyss Dweller. People wanted one Dweller. That's cool, right? Some people wanted replace it, but a lot of people didn't care, right? And then some people wanted Book of Moon, so it was like high for a bit, but then it just kind of dropped instantly because it came out way too late. OTS 14 has ultimators that a lot of the player base actually wants, a lot of player base actually cares about, and cards are actually used way more than OTS 13. So now with COVID, the prices for like Ulti Nibiru, Ulti Super Poly, Ulti Toon Kingdom, right? Not Toon Kingdom as much, I understand that, but still, it's quite a bit. Is really reflecting that we're in COVID times and it's all hard these packs, unlike OTS 13, which was a flop of a set, at
Mhm.
least in my opinion.
That's fair. So I guess we'll probably just skip over the oldies because I mean, I doubt a lot of my viewers, at least, are going to be, or the coalition viewers, are going to be looking to spend $120 on a copy of Nibiru. So I mean, like the normal ones here. So there's the one copy at 8, which is obviously an outlier because he's got a $5 shipping cost too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're looking for the near mint limiteds at 16 to like 17, 18
16
ish.
heading up to 17, about 16 heading up to 8.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit for Nibiru. Personally, these cards like to dip a little bit to like 12 here and there. 12, 13. You got kind of have to have that, get it at a crucial point.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually think this is going to get a reprint in the Gold Series. We have, because Konami is aware of how much these promos are.
Mm-hmm.
And they're over a year old by now. So we could see this in the Gold Series as a Gold Nibiru, which would probably look, I actually absolutely hate it. But they'll be cheaper.
Yeah, it'll be a more friendly or budget friendly option for a lot of players.
Yeah.
So
So if you do want your Nibirus, and you don't have them yet, because I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players probably just have this card.
yeah,
If you don't, I think that just sucks. I don't know why you don't have them. That's all I have
yeah,
to really say. But if you somehow don't have them, or you need one or two more, just let's look at the Gold Series,
okay,
and if it's there, check back at these originals. They probably are going to start to drop because people are going to start trying to mass sell. Maybe get a copy then, or get the reprinted copy. That's
yeah.
personally what I.
Yeah, so I guess for now, wait for like the leaks of Gold Series, I guess, because like if Konami does actually leak it and we do see the Nibiru in there, then like maybe just wait for Gold Series at that point.
Yeah,
But
the official leaks, because listen,
yeah,
dude,
yeah, make sure you get the official
the
leaks.
leaks that
Don't
people
just
were
do what
trying,
everyone's given.
dude, the leaks that people were trying to give us, bro. I swear, I want to slam my head on the table. I
Yeah,
was like, dude, they're like, we're gonna get Eldritch, the Golden Lord. I'm like, dude,
yeah. No,
I'm gonna be
it's been
you
like
know
what
what? I
6
don't know how
months.
friendly family this channel is, but I use profane language. But all right, but yeah, 17s, it's nib.
Yeah, you gotta respect the Rock, but I mean, you could probably hold off on this price. I mean, if any of you guys are somehow watching the market right now as we're recording this, I guess pick up that $8 copy. I mean, it's 13 total, so it's not bad. I mean, he's got a 0% sale rate though at 8 sales. I don't know if I'd really trust that one all that much, but
Yeah.
all right, so moving
Uh,
on from the nib here, we got the Mr. Verte Anaconda at a dual overload. So let's scroll here, see what we got. So about 25 to 26 ish on this guy. Even for the so I mean that's could be a lot worse. I think he
I mean,
was
I'll always be shocked this didn't hit.
if it what?
It did not hit $40.
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
yeah. The thing is, though, is this dual overload came about when COVID was like when all the Yu-Gi-Oh announcement tournaments started getting like completely canceled, like the beginning of the whole big quarantine,
Yeah.
right? It was actually March. So this was like I think it was 2 or 3 weeks before this set, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of this set, this was going to be the most expensive set of the year, at least in my opinion. We were gonna start seeing what's his name? Needle fibers at we're gonna see needle fibers at like 50s, 60s
Yeah.
easily. We're gonna see Akondas at 40s, but I think 25. I mean, it's always good to have your one copy, so just get it now
Yeah.
because you're gonna need it for future decks, Dragoon, all that.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually really helpful in prank kids too. Thanks to the next card we got kind of here, which is our Thunder Dragon Fusion. I just kind of clicked on a copy here, but this one I actually, ironically, I run this at 3 in prank kids because if you can't make the extension to go to the Verte, if you can draw it, it at least still works, or you can actually use one in your hand and use the Verte. So, looking at this one here, so I'm just on the 2019. I'm gonna go to all versions really quick just so I can see what we got here. So
Yeah.
we have the Soul Fusion and the 2019 Megatins. I'm guessing you'll probably say go with Soul Fusion, I'm sure. Or does it really
Um,
matter?
for a card like this, just get the cheaper ones. Get the super
Okay,
rares.
that's fair. Yeah, because it's this
It's
one.
because it's an ultra out of
Yeah.
core set. You can still find a lot of Soul Fusion. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not like Rise of the Duelist, which is about 100. Last time I checked, by the way, guys, about 140 per box, right? Which I haven't seen core sets reach that value in a long time,
Yeah.
right? This is a card. I also think it's quite card. Get these, and if this is a deck you really absolutely love, you could just get first sets for life. But
Yeah.
just get the super rares for about $1.50. You could also, fun fact, probably go to your card shops and you can find this for way cheaper because this card was a quarter for a lot of its lifetime.
Okay.
Uh, $1 to a quarter, right? And this was for originals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to buy this card or you're looking for it, first place to check is your local card shop, maybe a card shop over. You might find 2 or 3 of these originals for like a quarter or 50 cents. I found cards that are like $5 to $6 to $7 for $1 or less at my card shops, and they were free to either resell just to have for value. So that's what I would personally do with this card.
Okay. That's fair
Just get the
enough.
cheaper versions, but check your card shop. It also helps them out.
Yeah. I mean, like, that way, if nothing else, you'll have them if for some reason we get this big boy down here back at 1. I don't know why that would ever
You know,
happen anytime soon,
listen, dude,
but
everybody. Okay, I'm gonna get hate for this opinion. Bring Colossus back to 1. No, I hate that card. That is a degenerate card.
yeah.
Like what? Like, dude, any Thunder archetype, right? Hey, I activated. I think it's a hand or settle,
It's
right?
it's just if you activated a Thunder Monster's effect in hand. But the thing is, though, is that as long as your deck can banish and you run the Nemesis Corridor, you just have a free Colossus. Like,
Yeah,
that's
literally,
all it
it's way
is.
too generic. It takes one monster, right? Not two, one, right?
Yeah.
Boom, you have this. It protects itself, and it's a one side, right?
Yeah.
That's way too strong. Like, just if it was more specific to Thunder Dragons, I'd be
hmm
like more okay with it.
Or, like, if it didn't
But
have such a powerful floodgate effect, if it wasn't, like, so devastating on field, like, if it had a lesser effect, it would not be. Just the way it is
yeah,
structured is so unhealthy.
it really is. I mean, also, I'm a filthy. I like to play Sky Striker because it's just one girl cosplaying into different mechas.
Yeah.
So when they put Colossus on board and you open up double engage, you're not having a good time.
Yeah, not at all. All right, so I think we got. Looks
Yeah.
like we got one more card on our list here, and that. Well, okay, it's not a card. It's actually. I forgot. It's the Dogmatica engine. This is a very optional thing for prank kids. Obviously, Dogmatica is very splashable. But prank kids, it really does especially work having a negate from your Fleur de Lis as well as like a Raigeki and a Harpy's Feather Duster. Like you just can't beat that. It's Of course, you do have to worry about things like getting locked out with the Pandemonium. So if playtest this like crazy first before you even consider it, because this is a high price value to go into. But I mean,
So
there's
honest,
yeah, go ahead.
here's what I have to say about Dogmatic. Sorry to interrupt you real
No,
quick.
you're good.
And I have to be honest with it, you guys here. If you can play Dogmatica, then you'd probably just want to play the best build, which is like Dogmatica with like maybe Shadows or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of probably with Prank Kids. Now, I don't know Dogmatica Prank Kids off the top of my head. I don't know if it's with Mew Mew. It's almost as good or maybe better in some situations.
Yeah.
I have not studied that far, and I'm going to have to be completely honest. But if you can afford this, it's probably better just to play this. That's kind of what I have to say about it. I
Yeah.
mean, because what
So
the engine, you need Nadir servants for the engine,
you
correct?
do, yeah.
Yeah, then just you would play this pure deck. So I feel like, yeah, I just wouldn't really look at
Yeah,
this
so
if I
like
was
I
playing.
guess
If
the
you
one
solely
if
want to
you're
play,
gonna do any of them that I would really consider would be the Dogmatica Maximus. I think just because it is extra disruption against your opponent, it's one of the cheaper Dogmatica cards, but that is fair. Like honestly, you could probably skip the Dogmatic engine for prank kids. It's like if you're thinking about getting really serious with the deck for whatever reason, Dogmaticas are a decent option to go. I prefer them over Invoked, like any day of the week. Invoked prank kids are garbage because you're just too many normal summons. But these guys are good
Mhm.
at the end of your combo line. But it's I think
Well,
Dogmatica
I
Maximus could be
actually
a good
played
option.
invoked. I actually played invoked prank kids.
Oh my, oh my, you poor soul.
Uh, get out of my channel. Nah, but no, I just remember because back then. Now why would you play invoke at all? Because you
Yeah,
want something like now it's redundant. But back then I liked it because you could set up the toad,
mm-hmm,
the Mechaba, right,
yeah,
and the Raigeki. So you have the strong and you have the Raigeki on board. And
yeah,
I actually really always love that. That's what I liked about invoked kids back in the day. So
yeah. Now it's just too many extra deck slots, though, and of course the conflicting normal summons, and it's too much of a hassle to try
yeah,
to make it work. Like it just doesn't
yeah.
work.
Prank kids didn't really need their normal summon as much before.
Back then, you relied on the
Now,
3 card
yeah,
combo of a fusion spell, a 2 Prankets monster for like the best combos. Anyway, you could do like a 2 Prankets monsters and a pranks, or there was other ways to get around it, but like your best play was the
yeah,
fusion spell and 2 Prankets, which the invoked engine made sense at that point because as long as you had more options to get into a fusion spell thanks to Alistair, because you're usually fusion summoning in the hand anyway, so you can just use the invocation for that if you really need to.
yeah.
So I understand the invoked. It's not so good anymore in 2020 Brankets
I
thanks to
would say
Meow.
it's not good at all. It's
That's
not worth playing at all in 2020.
that's fair.
Like 2019, I think it's the best build.
Yeah.
That's 2019. It's because they got this new support. You know, what I mean, if they don't have, you can actually play pure prank kids now,
Yep. It is.
right?
It's really good too. It's actually like a
Yeah.
pretty solid deck.
Hmm.
So, all right. Well, I think that was really all the cards we had to like actually cover for you guys today. In this market watch, this is just kind of like some general stuff to go over with prank kids. Obviously, if you're looking to buy the deck, make sure that you're like actually watching prices first and kind of analyzing them a little bit before you go ahead and just buy. Make sure that you're being smart about the market. I'm sure
Yeah.
Thomas can vouch for that 100%.
Yep. I
So,
also, yeah. Another thing is just you got to remember, take advantage of the people in your area. Okay, that sounds really. But what I mean by that is, and this is not a good
so like
choice.
take advantage of the situations
But yeah,
provided by people in your area. I think it's a more roundabout way, but it gets to the point we're trying to get at here. So like
yeah.
obviously people
Like,
like help people out, offer to buy their cards from them because obviously if they're still holding them, they haven't sold them, and if they don't want them, then it's sitting there not getting them money.
yeah.
So it's kind of like a win-win
Anyone
for
who
both.
reject, yeah, anyone who rejects you offering 80% on prank kids is just a dumbass. Like straight up. That's all I have to say to you. Unless you're playing the deck, right? That's completely
Yeah,
different, right? But it's like, no, dude, I just want them to sit here in the binder. Like, okay, that's great. They'll be worth like 10% of what I offer.
just make me tear up and die a little bit inside by
Oh,
having
dude.
prank kids sit in the binder. If you're not
I
playing
mean,
them, you're doing it wrong.
I'll do a quick. Is it okay if I do a story about I guess stupidity of the secondary market? Are you cool with that or?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh players being a little dumb, I remember. And this happens sometimes. Is sometimes I have players and I talk to other people, and it's like a special brand or special breed of Yu-Gi-Oh players that they'll look at your binder or they'll want to buy stuff, right? Like so they're like, "Yo, dude, this is what $20. I can't afford this, man." Right? And you're like, "Yeah, that's cool, right? You know, you got other priorities, bills, life, right? Like, me and my girlfriend, we had to pay off some stuff, right? So I didn't have as much, right? It happens, right? Just part of being an adult. But like, let's say they want $20 worth from you, right? They really want, you can't afford, it, right? And then about 5 minutes later, right? Not even, you see them buying like $30 worth of sealed product with cash, and I'm just like, what?
Right.
What? And by the way, guys, I've seen that multiple times, and I to this day I've actually tried to make like, but I can't respond to. I just don't know what to do. I'm just like, okay.
Yep.
But yeah, guys. Harv, thank you for checking me out, my man. Or thank you for letting me be on your Prank Kids
Yeah, no problem.
prank week, guys. I cannot speak right now. But yeah, so I'm gonna like be watching this. I'm like, oh no, nah. But hopefully you guys enjoyed me enough to check me out. Link in the description below. Hopefully you guys might see me another time or two. That'd be pretty awesome if you let me. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and yeah.
Yep, and thank you guys just for joining us in the video today. I hope to see you all in the next one. Remember to have fun and make your move. Peace out.
I'm a love giver, searching for glory. I'm a